Hello and welcome back to Miss McD Reads to Me. Today I will be reading The Tale of the Mandarin Duck, which was written by Bette Midler, who is an actress and a singer. The thing I like about this book is the pictures are different, and you'll see why when we're going through, but I think you'll really like it and you'll like all the images that you see. So if everybody's ready, let's begin. The Tale of the Mandarin Duck is written by Bette Midler, illustrated by Joana Avillez, and there's photographs taken by Michiko Kakutani. This is a story of rare birds, both feathered and human. Once upon a time, not very long ago, there was a great city built on an island that was famous for its people. There were many kinds of people living there: artists and writers, salespeople and stockbrokers, people who worked with their hands, butchers, bakers and perfume makers, people who drove cabs, trucks and trains, people who fixed streets and cleaned streets. So many different kinds of people doing so many different things. But no matter what they did, these people were world famous for their liveliness. They talked to each other everywhere, in elevators, on subways, in restaurants. They would gather in little groups on street corners and tell each other jokes, or discuss daily news of their city and laugh uproariously. They yelled, sang, and generally had a good time. They looked each other in the eye and pretty much liked what they saw. Then an invention came into their lives. It was a new version of an old invention. It was a telephone, but you didn't have to put in a quarter or go somewhere special to use it. You could carry it in your pocket or purse or backpack, and with this telephone, any question you could think of could be answered. Any song could be heard, any person on earth could be found. And most important, it was a camera, and you could photograph anything and everything, especially yourself. Everybody liked that. It wasn't long before everyone in the city had one. I bet you know some people who have a phone like this. You might even have one yourself. In a very short time, people were not the same. All of them were bent over the small screen in their hand. It was as if nothing else existed. Then one day, something happened that changed many people in the city, maybe forever. A new bird came to town. No one had ever seen a bird like this. Many birds are very beautiful, but this bird was extraordinary. He was a Mandarin Duck. When bird lovers heard he was in the pond, they ran to see him. Word spread about the duck, and soon people began flocking to look at him. Wouldn't you? It was the most exciting thing to happen to the city in a long time. How did this duck get here? Where did he come from? Who was this duck? The crowds were immense. Everyone had their phones up taking pictures of the Mandarin Duck. Then one day, a kid in the crowd said very loudly, "I'm going to see this with my own 2 eyes." Then she put her phone away and just watched the Mandarin Duck be what he was. Something so rare that he had to be seen with your own two eyes and remembered with your heart. So the grown-ups put their phones down too and just watched. They watched long and hard. What an effect this bird had on people. They just loved him. As the crowds left the park, they talked about what they had seen with their friends and with strangers too. Little groups of people began to gather to discuss how wonderful it was to see such a rare and beautiful sight with their own two eyes. Soon after that, the people put their phones away. Their old habits returned. They talked, they laughed, and sometimes they even sang. They looked each other in the eye and pretty much liked what they saw, and all because of the Mandarin Duck. Then, one day, the Mandarin Duck flew away. Everyone missed him, but he had worked his magic. He had reminded the people in the city, the artists and the writers, the butchers, bakers and perfume makers, and everyone else to look at the world with their own two eyes. And if they did, they would see that all around them are rare and beautiful birds with and without feathers. And here are all the pictures that were taken by Michiko Kakutani when the Mandarin Duck was in Central Park in New York. And the back cover of the book says, "Why is everyone looking down? What will it take to make them look up?" A very special duck. How did you like this? It's a little bit different, isn't it? And the events of the Mandarin Duck are actually true. The Mandarin Duck came to New York City and he stayed in Central Park. I think it was from the fall of 2018, and he mysteriously left in spring of 2019. I really like this story. I think it's got a good message about putting down our phones and taking time to see the beauty in the world. So until next time, everyone, boys, girls, parents, don't forget, keep reading, and I'll see you very soon.